Is that Darren Thomas? Hey, man. Hey, Liz. Good morning, everybody.
All right, welcome to the detention docket for the 323rd District Court. It is Monday, January 11th, 2021. So to comply with the Texas Supreme Court Emergency Order number 30 related to the coronavirus, we are not conducting in-person court proceedings, but we are using Zoom remotely. However, to comply with the Open Courts Act of the Texas Constitution, we are broadcasting these proceedings on YouTube for the transparency and the public to be able to see what happens in a public courtroom. No portion of this detention hearing may be copied or recorded or broadcast. Violations are punishable by contempt of court of up to 6 months in the Tarrant County Jail and a $500 fine. The court would like to remind everyone this is still a court proceeding, so the court does expect everyone to behave appropriately for court. That means please refrain from laying down, being in pajamas in bed, in the lavatory, or in the shower. Please do not be walking around or moving or in a moving vehicle, as this is distracting for everyone else in this hearing. Also, please do not have bright lights or windows behind your head, as that shadows out your face and we are unable to see you. The court does expect everyone who is not an officer of the court to have their camera on and be muted until it is your turn. Check. Looks like we're good. Okay, so we'll go ahead and start. I think we have somebody from the Tarrant County Jail. And we have, is that, where is he? I just lost him. Oh, is that Mr. Mendoza?
Yes, sir.
Okay, it's out of order, but we'll do that first. All right, Mr. Mendoza, I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. Been here for 10 days, so I'm reviewing your case, decide whether to keep you or release you. We have a court hearing set up. I wish I didn't have to keep you, but the fact that you were caught at the border trying to leave the United States of America gives me great concern whether you'll return to the court proceedings in the future. So I'm going to go ahead and detain you. All right, Mr. Adler, if you want to take a moment.
Yes. Señor Mendoza, buenos días.
Buenos días.
El juez acaba de decir todo lo que he dicho las últimas veces que estuvimos aquí, que tenemos una corte presente, una audiencia presente, pero él no está cómodo dejándote salir de la cárcel porque lo que pasó y donde te encontraron con inmigración en el paso, así que él te va a aguantar ahí en la corte hasta que tenemos la audiencia con él. Judge, I paraphrased you, but pretty much told him what you said.
I believe his certification hearing is on January 19th.
That is correct, Judge.
Okay. So just let him know it's just a couple of weeks and we'll be done with this case.
Señor Mendoza, un par de semanas más y se termina el caso, por lo menos en la juvenil. Que tenga buen día y hablamos pronto, señor.
Gracias.
Okay. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Mr. Adler. All right, next we'll have Cameron Newton.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Did you log off? I think they're supposed to bring Cameron Newton. Hey, Ed, do you want to call the jail and say they've got one child, Cameron Newton? I think they just logged off. Yes, Cameron Newton. Cam Newton. All right, so we have Joshua Ballard next while we wait on the jail to bring back the inmate. Mr. Ballard? Mr. Ballard? Come on, y'all. All right, Mr. Jennings here?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, can you call the detention facility and let them know that they're late for court?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. All right, Daniel Dalton McCoy.
Here, sir.
All right, where's Mr. McCoy? All right, Mr. McCoy, I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. When a kid's brought into our facility, well, we've been through this before. You know, you have to see a judge within 2 days. I have to decide whether to keep you or release you. If I keep you, you have to see a judge every 10 days. You have the right
Yes,
to remain
sir.
silent. You have the right to an attorney. The attorney, Mr. Gladstone, is here. So, I mean, I know your name. I've seen you recently. So you're on probation. We're supervising you out of South Carolina. You're on probation for criminal mischief from $2,500 to $30,000 until March of this year, as well as stealing a car. I guess you had disposition hearing back in March. You moved to South Carolina. And then you were placed on 3 months probation in South Carolina for burglary of a building and larceny. And I guess your family came back to Fort Worth to visit grandma. Stayed
Yes.
longer, and then mom wants to move here permanently. All right, so, well, Mr. Jennings, it says January 20th. I'm hoping you meant the 10th. And then, I'm sorry, who's, not Mr. Jennings, Ms. Huey. I think it's a
Yes.
typo, right? January 10th?
I'm sorry, where do you see that?
Oh, on the narrative, it says
Oh.
January 20th to 21?
Yes,
Okay,
he was brought in yesterday, I believe.
okay. Okay, police were dispatched to a domestic. When they got there, saw a female with blood running down her face, spoke to Dalton, who said you got in a fight with her cousin. You said she got in your face and you pushed her back. They came to April, said she got in your face for being disrespectful and you punched her with a closed fist. You get cut above her eye. And so, and you've had probation for assault of a public servant. Got arrested for assault of a public servant. See, the first one was when you were 13. When you're 14, you have another assault public servant. Criminal mischief when you're 14. 2 weeks later, an assault public servant, which you got probation for. A week later, arrested for criminal mischief, the one you're on probation for. Unauthorized use of motor vehicle and criminal trespass. In November of 19, so you're 15 years old. You have another stolen car. I guess you got out because you got caught with a weapon the next day, a handgun. Daniel, this is just not working out. I don't think probation is working for you. Look, there's I'm gonna go and, do we have a parent here?
Yes.
Yeah, where's the parents in the parent room? Okay,
Yes.
all right. Are you mom?
Yes.
Okay. All right, mom, were you there when this happened with the cousin?
Yes, I was.
Okay.
The allegation she's stating is completely false.
Sorry?
The allegation she is stating is completely false.
Okay. Well, yeah, at this point, this is what the police report has, and that's what I'm going off of. If it's false, then there's your son is entitled to a trial.
Yes.
So, but I'm concerned about this violation out of South Carolina, which evidently broke the law again over there. So I think your son's just out of control, to be
I
honest with
agree.
you. And so, Daniel, I'm going to go ahead and detain you. Let's go ahead and set this for a motion modify. Mr. Gladstone, can you, I don't want to put you, I want to do this fairly quickly,
Okay.
but, sometime in the next 2 to 3 weeks. And so I think if he's been adjudicated in South Carolina for a new offense, that probably merits a serious review about whether he should be on probation or in TJJD.
I understand, Judge.
Okay.
We'll get a setting.
All right, thank you, Mr. Gladstone. Daniel, do you understand what's going on? To detain you, and I'm going to set this hearing on whether you violated your probation or not by breaking the laws in the state of South Carolina. And
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay, we'll decide whether you stay on probation here in Texas or you get committed to TJJD. All right.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, Andrew Handy.
Yes.
Here he is, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Mr. Handy, I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. When a kid's brought in, you see a judge within 2 days. I decide whether to keep you or release you. If I keep you here, you'll see a judge every 10 days while you're here. You have the right to remain silent. You have the right to an attorney. Mr. Gladstone is your attorney. So, Andrew, start when you're 10 years old with some intervention cases. Eventually, you turn, well, you're 13 with an assault public servant, which was dismissed. 5 months later, when you're 13, an ag assault deadly weapon, which was dismissed. 2 months later, you get arrested for ag assault with a deadly weapon, which you got probation for. Then back in June of last year, you're 16 years old, you get arrested for engaging in organized criminal activity, which the DA rejected, but a burglary of a building also, which you have pending. So you're out with a pending burglary of a building case. And then yesterday, 4th PD brought you in. We had a warrant for you. Ms. Turner-Hill, why did we have a DTA for him?
Hi, Judge. I'm covering for Ms. Turner-Hill.
Okay.
Let's see. Give me 1 second, Judge. I'm looking that up for you.
There's EM violation.
Yes, he has an EM violation and.
Associated with fugitives, 1 arm. Tell me about that.
Say that again, Judge.
It says let's see, Andrew was associating with 2 fugitives. 1 was allegedly armed. Can you tell me about that?
Yes. He was brought in on an EM violation. So that was what he was brought in on. And then
I want to know about hanging out people with guns.
Dad said he ran off with 2 family members who were fugitives, Dad.
Oh.
The dad informed Ms. Turner-Hill that he ran off with 2 family members that were on the run.
Okay. Do we have a parent here for Mr. Handy?
No, the parent was notified of the hearing and we emailed the information and they're not on here.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Yesterday, police report was notified of a stolen F-250. It was going on West Seminary. Police confirmed it was stolen, activated lights, vehicle stopped. Andrew was identified as a driver. They made contact with the victim who said nobody had permission to take his vehicle. So you're arrested and you had a warrant for your EM violation. That is from last week. You had a curfew alert. Called Dad. Dad said you weren't at home. You did not have permission to leave, so we issued a warrant for you. You talked to Dad, who said he told you to rake the yard. And you told your dad, rake your own damn yard. He said he raked the yard and took your dog to the pound. And then your behavior got worse. Let's go back to the burglary of a building. K-9 unit to Dunbar High School because they saw 3 men in dark clothes carrying a hammer. When they got there, saw 3 young men inside the school. They had crowbars and prying open lockers, taking items and stacking in the hallway. And you were arrested immediately. A lot of broken glass and damaged soda machine, damaged about $5,700. And when we brought you in, you refused to take a drug test. So, you know, Andrew, so you understand, when you refuse to take a drug test, I just assume you're positive for everything. I assume you're using meth and cocaine and heroin and acid and mushrooms and you name it, you're taking it. Otherwise, why would you be hiding your drug test? If it was only smoking weed, you just give a sample to be like, well, I'm smoking weed, but at least that doesn't show that I'm using PCP. So anyways, if you're using drugs, I don't want you out in the community. Like, you're a danger to yourself. Also, you're caught in a stolen car. He is currently with a pending case, but he's not on probation. Is that correct, Ms. Guerrero?
Yes, Judge, that is correct.
All right. Andrew, I'm going to let you know that you're turning 17 in less than a month. So my policy is if a child is 17 years old, I have the discretion. It's not my policy, it's the law. I have the discretion of keeping you here at Kimbo or in the adult jail downtown. So if you misbehave here and your behavior level drops, I'm just going to have you housed downtown until the case is over. If you're an older kid here, I expect you to be example for the younger kids here so that you show them how to behave and stay level B and stay level 1O. And that's how you kind of earn your keep here at Kimbo. That way you get the better facilities and the better food. All right. Do you have any questions for me, Andrew?
Oh, no, sir.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Handy.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Yes, sir. Oh, thank you. All right. So, Mr. Newton, I thank you, Sheriff, for bringing him. I know there's a line over there, so I appreciate you working them in. Mr. Newton, this is a 10-day detention hearing, deciding whether to keep you here or release you. If I keep you here, you'll see a judge every 10 days while you're here. You have the right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney. Ms. Keenan is here. Good morning, Tracy.
Good morning, Judge. Can you hear us?
Hello. Yes, this is for Newton. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
All right. So, Mr. Newton, you're 17 years old. This is the aggravated robbery case over. Back in June, 3 boys came over victim's home while they were asleep, held her at gunpoint, went through the house. And one with a shotgun, one with an AR-15, and one with a handgun. Suspects took $400 from her purse, gold chain, gold diamond ring, and a radio call about the car. Oh, this is the one where the AR-15 was put in the trash can. All right, Mr. Newton. Yeah, this is clearly, you understand how I am with kids with guns, and it's very concerning. Do we have a parent here for Mr. Newton? No. Keenan, I know Mr. Newton's been here for a while. Do we have a court setting?
Yes, Your Honor. We're set on pretrial motions on April 16th and voir dire for April 19th.
Okay. All right, Mr. Newton. So there is an end in sight. Sorry this is taking so long, but it really has to do with coronavirus. Before COVID hit, we could get kids' trials within 2 weeks, but just because of the coronavirus and the limitations on jury trials, I'm stuck as a judge. I can't do anything because I can't get jurors right now. Okay. So anyways, but we'll continue to have the detention hearings, but I'm going to continue to detain you. Thank you, Mr. Newton. All right, Sheriff, thank you very much for being the inmate.
All righty. Yes, sir. I'll see you soon.
See you soon. All right, do we have Joshua Ballard yet? Mr. Jennings, did we get a hold of detention?
Yes, yes, Your Honor. I did get a hold of them, and they were getting them on. Let me check and see if he's here.
We have him back here, Your Honor. We have him down as a waiver, but you need him.
Can you say that again?
I said we have him down as a waiver, but you need him.
No, he's level 2. So when he signed the waiver, he was level 1, but then his behavior level dropped. So
I got him right here. So give me about 10 seconds.
Okay, we'll go ahead and do this. I think we had Lewis Parker there. So thank you. All right, Mr. Parker, Judge Kim, this is a detention hearing. Been here for 10 days, reviewing your case, deciding whether to keep you or release you. If I keep you, you'll see a judge every 10 days. Hey, Lewis, the big thing is you're on probation or a pending case, and you fled and you absconded. And so you understand why I'm keeping you here. Because when you were picked up, you had a gun. This was a capital murder case. And I let you go because I was so frustrated with how long this was taking. Well, a couple of questions. See, Ms. Thomas, what his behavior level just went back up to level 1 outstanding on the 7th. How far did he drop down?
Judge, on January 1st, he dropped to level 3 confined due to 2 near physical altercations with 2 different juveniles.
All right, Parker, you know what I expect from you. All right.
Yeah.
And so, as frustrated as I am with this case taking so long, You know, I mean, I try and give you the little incentives here and there to behave, but you know, I mean, you're looking at capital murder offense, and if you're getting violent or almost violent contacts with other kids, and that just gives me more and more concern. Okay, you got to take care of your business and do things right. I'm going to continue to detain you, but if I'm hearing that just January last week or 2 weeks ago that you almost got in these fights, I'm not comfortable releasing you to your parents anytime soon. Okay. All right. Thank you, Mr. Lewis or Mr. Parker. All right, Joshua Ballard.
Thanks, Judge.
Thank you, Mr. Hall.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Ms. Hawthorne. All right, Mr. Ballard, I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention. You've been here for 10 days. I'm deciding whether to keep you or release you. If I keep you, you'll see a judge every 10 days while you're here. You have the right to remain silent. You have the right to attorney. Mr. Pearson, your attorney, is here. And so let's see, Mr. Jennings, tell me about this. He was level 1-0, signed the waiver, and then he dropped down to 2. Can you tell me why he dropped down to level 2?
Yes, sir, Your Honor. He says he was overly playful, not following instructions during movie time, and dropped down to level 1 acceptable, went back up to level 1 outstanding. Then on the 10th, dropped down to level 2 or level 1 acceptable. There's no comments, and dropped down to level 2 acceptable on January the 11th. Unfortunately, I do not have any comments in the detention section, sir.
Okay. Do we have a parent here for Joshua?
I do not believe she's on. She was notified of the detention hearing this morning. She did not say if she'd be able to be here or not.
All right, Joshua, just last week, you were here in court with your attorney, and there was a plea agreement ordering on probation for you to successfully complete placement at Grayson County. All right. One thing I want to let you know is you can undo that. I'm not stuck giving you that probation. I can still go back and tell your attorney that the deal's off the table. We'll come back. You can have a trial, or you can come up with a different deal, but I'm not going to give him probation. If you want probation, you're going to have to go to a jury to get it. I can do that. But yet here you are thinking that you're in the clear with the shenanigans. The whole idea of probation was for you to tell me, you're asking me, give you one more chance to do everything right. If you're going to be there messing up and doing what you want to do, I'll just undo it. Right? Your attorney can tell you that I have the authority to go back and undo the offer and go back to the drawing board, and you can have your trial. So at this point, either you can do things right, and you're going to tell me that you're going to be right, be good, make it through your probation without a problem, or you can just tell me that it's not worth it to spend the time on you, and we'll just give you your trial. You understand how this works out? I'm not stuck. I don't have to honor the probation. I did it because your attorney and I go way back, and I trust him, even though my gut instinct says I'm wasting my time and the county taxpayers' money on you. But Mr. Pearson's a good man, so I will trust him. But if you prove otherwise, there's only so much you can do to argue on your behalf. See how this works? You're not doing this because you earned this. You're doing this because you have an attorney that has decades of being a straight up righteous man. And so the judges trust him and the other attorneys trust him, right? So if you want to burn your attorney and do it your way, you can have it your way. But if you want to take advantage of the good situation that you're in, you need to shape up and quit the shenanigans.
Yes, sir.
Is there any question about what I'm saying right now?
No, sir.
Because you know what happens if Grayson County kicks you out because you're being overly playful and talking back and slow to comply. If they discharge you from the program, you come back here, you violated the very first step of probation, which is to successfully complete Grayson County placement. So either take care of your business and do what you're supposed to do, or go to TJJD. It's that simple. You got it?
Yes, sir.
All right, take care of your business.
Yes, sir, Judge Kim.
Okay. Shalon Smith. All right, Ms. Smith, I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. When a kid's brought in, you have to see a judge within 2 days. You have to decide whether to keep you or release you. If I keep you, you have to see a judge every 10 days. You have the right to remain silent. You have the right to an attorney. And Ms. Johnson has been appointed as your attorney. Ms. Johnson, I think I saw you before. Good morning, Ms. Johnson.
Good morning.
All right, Ms. Smith, I see you're 14 years old. You're on probation for an assault of a public servant. Hospital district. Is that, let's see, Ms. Washington, is that JPS maybe? Ms. Washington, are you here?
She was, yes.
I apologize, Your Honor.
No, it's okay. Was the assault public servant JPS?
Which paragraph are you referring to? You going in and out?
The one she's on probation for the assault public servant of?
I believe it is.
Okay. All right.
And Your Honor, that probation was due to expire on the 7th. However, we had received another assault case in prior to her expiring, but the DA has not filed a petition on that case.
Okay. Ms. Smith, let's see. So you're on probation for 2 different counts of assault. No, 1 count of assault. See what's going on. All right, Saturday, you were referred by Fort Worth PD about 9:30. They were dispatched for domestic. When they got there, your mom said that she discovered you had weed, took it from you. You demanded it back. When your mom refused it back, you hit her multiple times with a closed fist. Mom said then you began to destroy property, including punching and breaking the TV. You're arrested and brought here. 2 days before, Mom said that December 27th, you left home about 10, didn't come back until 5 in the morning the next day. You recently moved and you've been involved in several fights. On that day, a bunch of girls evidently jumped you at the apartment complex. A neighbor found you with a busted lip and black eye. She said she was at work. Asked the neighbor to keep you until she came back. Earlier on Monday, one of the girls' fathers threatened you with a gun. She said you've gotten your mom evicted from several complexes due to fighting. She fights with mom and the younger brother. She's afraid of your safety. You've made self-harm threats, so you've been in and out of JPS. December 8th, there was a referral for domestic neighborhood. Wait. Let's see. Complainant says she heard loud banging in the restroom, was awoken by Fort Worth PD, who asked if they had a leak in her apartment because the downstairs neighbors were experiencing a leak. Downstairs neighbors were yelling for her to stop the banging. There was an argument. And evidently, they said you picked up a rock and threw it at the victim, hitting her in the right side of the head. Then went upstairs, grabbed her by reaching inside the apartment, pulled her out by her hair. The victim was hit several times in the back by you. And evidently, you said you spit it. She said you spit at her and said, "I have COVID, bitch." This is, you're positive for weed. All right, so do we have a mom here, I guess?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Mom, is she on medication for mental health?
Yes.
Okay. Did you bring the medications with you?
I did not. I was leaving. I had a meeting at work, so I'm sorry.
I understand. Please get those to us. Please get those to us as soon as you can.
Okay.
You can go ahead and detain your daughter. She needs
Okay.
to take her medication. And here, Ms. Smith, young Ms. Smith, what you have to understand is that if you've got medication, you cannot self-medicate with street drugs because that interferes with the prescription the doctor gives you. So if I feel like you're going to continue to take marijuana, smoke marijuana or use weed, and you have a valid prescription, I'm going to keep you here as long as you're smoking weed. So that could be all the way up until your 19th birthday. So it's your decision. Either you're going to stay here at Kimbo and not smoke weed, or you're going to be at home and not smoke weed. Also have a feeling, Mom, all these instances of fights, is she taking her medication when this happens?
Yes.
Okay. When's the last time she saw a mental health doctor?
Last month.
Last month.
Yes. Zoom. Matter of fact.
Did they change her? Wait, I'm sorry, you said June?
Zoom, no, she
Zoom,
seen,
okay.
yes, she seen, MHMR.
Okay, and so when's the last time they changed your prescription?
They haven't changed it. She's been on the same medication since JPS.
When was that?
The last time she went to JPS was, oh my God, I thought I could find my card.
Just give me a,
The last time she been through JPS was I'm thinking like 2 months ago.
was the medication working?
Not to me.
Okay, if the medication is not working, you need to take her back to the doctor.
Okay.
Okay, that's the whole point of the medication. I don't want her taking medication that's not doing what it's supposed to do. Okay.
It works a little bit. I think I don't.
Well,
I need to increase it a little bit.
Well, it may not be increased, it may be something different, but you know, Mom, I just asked if it was working. You said no, and now you're saying it's working a little bit, right? So, but the thing is, I'm not trying to bust you on this. What I'm trying to say is, if your child's not behaving and there's a mental health issue and the medication is not working, then you need to go back and see the doctor again.
Right.
Okay?
Yes.
So. So, Mom, what I'm doing is I'm going to write a referral to see a psychiatrist here.
Okay.
All right. And what is she diagnosed with?
ADHD, anxiety, depression. And I think that's it.
Okay. Okay. You said last saw a doctor 2 months ago?
Her a month ago.
1 month ago. All right, so we're gonna do a psych referral. Ms. Smith, the doctor will see you. They come in 1 day a week, usually Thursdays. We'll probably see this Thursday. But I'm gonna let you know, unless you're taking medication, you're not getting out. Unless you're level 1 outstanding, you're not getting out. If you continue to fight or refuse to take your medication, you're just gonna stay here. So it's really up to you. I'm not gonna let you go back into the community if you're gonna be assaultive to other people. That's what placements are for. That's what commitment to TJJD is for. There's all kinds of things, but everyone else has a right to live their life without being attacked. So either you're gonna learn to do that here or you're just gonna stay here. All right, thank you, Ms. Smith. Thank you, Ms. Johnson.
Thank you.
So at this point, I'm gonna turn the docket over to Judge Porter, and I'll be back for the under 14. Thank you, everyone.
Judge Porter, your mic is not, it's not working. No, sir.
Can you hear me okay now, Ms. Guerrero?
Yes, sir. Much better.
Okay. Just a second, everybody. right. Good morning, Mr. Fusler. My name is Judge Porter. The law says when you're brought into detention and initially detained, you must see a judge every 10 business days thereafter. This is your 10-day hearing. You have the right to remain silent. You also have the right to an attorney, and your attorney, Mr. Ferguson, is here. Back in September, you were brought in and we released you on the electronic monitor. And then after about 30 days, we allowed you to be released from the electronic monitor. Then, beginning of last month, you were arrested in Dallas County for evading arrest. Also arrested again for a second unauthorized use of a motor vehicle and evading arrest or detention, which is the same thing that initially brought you into detention into Tarrant County back in September. And I will also note that the Dallas incident allegedly occurred shortly before 7 in the morning on a Sunday. Mr. Ferguson, what are your thoughts?
Yes, Judge. So Dallas released him, and then Judge Kim was going to, we had an out of custody detention hearing, and Judge Kim was going to release him, got in a little bit of argument with his mom. Judge put him in detention. He's now been in ever since. That was right before Christmas. He's been level 1-0 since he's been there. We were scheduled for court this afternoon, and we were prepared to resolve it. However, the district attorney's office informed me they would rather he go to Dallas and resolve his case there to be transferred for disposition back to here. And so they asked for continuance. It's already been granted. We've been rescheduled to February. So I would ask that he be released. If you want to put him on a monitor, that's fine. He did really well on a monitor with his mom before. Because obviously if he's got to resolve his case in Dallas, he's got to go to Dallas, and they don't have a hold on him or anything. So I would ask that he be let go today, and then he can, resolve or have his day in court in Dallas, and we'll work with it on this end afterwards.
Does he have a parent or guardian here today?
He does. That should be his mom right there.
Mom, what was he doing out at before 7 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday on December 6th?
He was not in my custody, sir. He was with his dad, and his dad knew the rules when he left for one with his dad. Because Jordan was seeing TCAP. I let the TCAP guy know that he's gonna be with his dad because his granny had died, I think like a week before that. He went out of town. He had been with his dad all the way up through Thanksgiving. His dad knew that he wasn't supposed to be out after 8. He knew that. But he told me that he didn't care, about none of that. He wanted his child to be a child.
So it's dad's fault.
So, because if he was with me, there's no way Jordan would have been out that late. He don't even go nowhere when he with me. Unless I'm with him and I'm dropping him off or we together.
Oh, and I forgot, Jordan just turned 16 last week, right?
Yes, on the 5th.
Okay. Well, sounds like he's just going to do what he wants to do when he wants to do it, when he can get away with it.
Not with me, he don't.
And Judge, if I may, this is the first time really that he's been in detention for an extended period of time. My conversations with him have been extremely positive, that he realizes this is not a place he wants to be. I do think his mom provides the best supervision for him based on just my interactions with the family. And so if he's with his mom, I feel comfortable that he will follow the rules, and he's indicated to me he's ready to follow the rules. So just hang on, Jordan.
Ms. Guerrero, what are your thoughts?
Judge, I agree that if you do release him, that he needs to be released on the electronic monitor, with the understanding that he only specifically has time out for school, no extracurricular activities for school, and that he needs to report to Dallas County for his hearing.
Well, he has to report. His hearing in Dallas isn't until the 4th, correct?
That is correct, Judge.
He's scheduled for court here on the 2nd, correct?
That is correct. As of right now, yes.
Okay.
And that just happened 15 minutes ago. I could probably ask them to push that because it doesn't make any sense to.
I did ask that on an email to Mary, and she wanted me to update her on your decision for today.
Mom, where is he in school?
He goes to Arlington High.
Okay. How's he doing in school?
He's doing good in school when he go, because you know they go
Wait. I'm sorry to interrupt. What does that mean when he goes?
because they have hybrid. They go 2 days a week and every other Friday. They don't go every day like junior high or elementary school.
So when he doesn't go to school, he doesn't do well?
No, he's online. Jordan need more in-person one-on-one. So when school started back, last week, I had to contact the counselor so they can try to get him to go to school 5 days a week since he need more in-person learning than through the computer. And when he's in school, he understands more than when he's at home on the laptop.
What are his grades like?
His grades are pretty good.
What does that mean?
They're passing.
Well, passing is not pretty good. Passing means he's just barely getting by. Pretty good means he's got high B's and A's.
My son have a learning disability. So like I say, he needs more help in person in school. And I've been doing everything I can to help him when he's at home and when he's at school.
Is he completing his assignments at home?
Yes, he is. From the help of me and his teachers.
So what are his grades like?
He have some B's and maybe like a C.
What's the C in?
I think it's in Spanish because he don't understand Spanish that well.
Okay. What are his grades in his other classes?
I haven't looked at his grades since last semester.
You're not seeing his grades when he completes his assignments?
Everything is through virtual, through a computer. When they send out the progress reports and they give updates, I look at everything.
Okay. Well, Jordan, I'm not yet convinced that if I were to release you today, that you wouldn't be a danger to the community. So I'm going to order your continued detention. We'll revisit this in 10 days. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Judge.
William King, Sylvie Park.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, Mr. Thomas. Good morning, Mr. Mooney.
Good morning, Judge.
All right, William, my name's Judge Porter. The law says when you're brought into detention and initially detained, you must see a judge every 10 business days thereafter. This is your 10-day hearing. You have the right to remain silent. You also have the right to an attorney, and your attorney, Mr. Mooney, is here. I'm familiar with this case. Court has previously found that probable cause exists to believe that you engaged in delinquent conduct sufficient to warrant your detention. You're scheduled for a modification hearing on the 21st. Is that correct, Mr. Mooney?
It is, Your Honor.
Okay. You're level 1-0, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. And you have been since when?
December 7th through now.
Yep. I need you to keep that up. But based on your history with this court, I know that if I release you, you would be a danger to yourself, okay?
All right.
So let's wait and see what happens on your hearing on the 21st.
All right.
And then we'll revisit this issue. But for right now, I'm going to order that you be detained. All right. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Mooney.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Thomas. Davion Mackenzie Stevenson. Good morning, Mr. Stevenson.
Good morning.
My name is Judge Porter. The law says when you're brought into detention and initially detained, you must see a judge every 10 business days thereafter. You have the right to remain silent. You also have the right to an attorney. Your attorney, Mr. Graham, is here. The court has previously found that probable cause exists to believe that you engaged in delinquent conduct sufficient to warrant your detention. I will note that you have been level 1-0 for the last 2 days, but Mr. Stevenson, the underlying alleged facts of this offense involve a gun, and this is just really too scary. You haven't been level 1-0 long enough yet to convince me that if I were to release you, you would not be a danger to the public. Okay, I need you to maintain level 1-0 longer than just 2 days before I can be convinced that you wouldn't be a danger to the public. Now, if you want to ask me a question, Mr. Stevenson, I don't think Mr. Graham would mind if you asked me a question, but if you're going to say something, just a statement, or you're going to argue with me, you don't want to do that because the DA is listening, and anything you say, while it can't be used against you at a future hearing, it might give the DA information that they can use to follow up and find other bad stuff to use against you. So if you want to ask me a question, that's okay. But if you're just going to make a statement or argue with me, you probably don't want to do that.
Yeah. No, I would say I've been level 1 since December.
No, sir, you have not. You've not been level 1-0 consistently that entire time.
I was level 1-8 on Friday.
Okay, Mr. Stevenson,
Yes,
what
sir.
did I just tell you?
Don't make an argument.
If you want to argue with me, your attorney probably doesn't want you to do that. But if you want to ask me a question, that's okay.
Yes, sir.
Do you want to argue with me or do you want to ask a question?
A question.
What is your question?
Do you think I'll be released from my next detention hearing?
We'll just have to see. I'm not making a promise. It's up to you to convince me that you're not going to be a danger. Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Stevenson. Thank you, Mr. Graham.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. At this point, I'm going to turn things back over to Judge Kim.
Thank you, Judge Porter. So, in compliance with Texas Family Code, Chapter 54.08, when a child is under 14 years old, all court proceedings are presumed to be closed to the public unless the court finds that the interests of the child or the interests of the public would be better served by keeping the hearings open to the public. So at this point, we will discontinue the live stream so the public can no longer observe these court proceedings for today's detention hearing. Please wait about 20 seconds for the tape delay to burn off.